in an area I worked in Papua New Guinea for quite some time, there were two large tribes down near the coast, or two large language groups. And each of those had in their belief system two big spirits, major spirits, who were sort of creator spirits and, you know, big spirit above other spirits. It was thought that these spirits' name could be the name of God could be translated by the name of these spirits. However, the missionaries at the time said, no, they are not good spirits. This is Mission Alive. You're with Roger from MSC Mission Office. This must have been a point of great debate amongst the missionaries and maybe the people, and I know in my time it was still being debated. And some would say, yes, we can translate God by the name of these spirits. So I guess it's still a debate. This just emphasises for me, in mission and going on mission, going into a different culture and a different people, a different language, many different languages, how do you translate things? Even on normal level of working with different languages and translation, it's often not easy. But when you get to something like the whole concept of God or other theological, philosophical concepts, the translation is not easy and perhaps impossible. So this can cause controversy, and in the history of the church has actually caused some of the splits in the church. And it has been the source of heresies, or what one side of the argument, the Western Church in Rome, has declared something heretical. Those on the other side would not consider themselves heretics. This is all part of the growth of the church and the movement of the church in mission to other parts of the world. I had with me once a man who was a local man from around Port Moresby, speaking the Motuan language. He was a deacon with me at the time, and I was trying to translate the Mass and all the sacraments and many other things into that language, or a language that was akin to it. And so I asked him if he could translate some of the prefaces of the Mass, and I think at the time it was probably around the time of Lent, so he was translating things to do with Easter. And I remember he came out of his room one day and his eyes were sort of going around in circles, and he looked around and he said, "The eyes of faith." That's still in one of those prefaces. I said, "What do you mean, the eyes of faith?" He said, "I don't know how to translate that." He said, "I can translate the words, but the concept of eyes of faith would not make sense to anybody." So I'm not too sure what we did in the end, but that was a fairly simple thing. You can translate that, but the saying it doesn't make sense. So translation and languages is a cause of difference of opinion, and as I said, can cause splits and controversy. And it can cause people to go in some other direction, even to leaving the church, or in some cultures maybe they start a new church or a new movement. And so it is also with customs in the church. One of the big splits in the church from the east and west, which still exists today, centered around cultural things. In the east and the west, the thinking was different, the mentality of people was different, and some of the key concepts that were being used, the words, were different and carried different meanings. So in the end, it caused that major split. So in any mission, even if it's day to day and around the corner, we have to be attentive to what people say and what they mean, and perhaps what we understand mean something else. So this is all part of mission and has been a major part of mission over the centuries. Thank you for being with us.